Thanks for stopping by today. I'm so excited. We're going to make chicken lettuce wraps. When I was doing the beef and broccoli video a few weeks ago, which you can check that out up here, I remember that I used to like the chicken lettuce wraps at PF Chang, but I haven't had them in, I don't know, 10, 12 years. So I went on the internet, looked up about 6 different recipes for chicken lettuce wraps, and I went and said, oh, I want this, I want that, I don't want this, I don't want that, and then I created my own recipe. So delicious, so easy. You are going to love these. We're going to get the sauce made. I've got everything else prepped, all my garnishes cut, and we'll talk about that later as we go through the recipe. So the first thing I have is gluten-free hoisin sauce. My favorite is Kikkoman's, and I will have a link to that in the description. And then we have tamari sauce. Again, my favorite is Kikkoman's. Some chili garlic sauce. Now you can put a little more of this in if you want a better kick on it. Some unseasoned rice wine vinegar. Peanut butter, which adds a nice depth of flavor to the sauce. And cornstarch, which is going to help thicken the sauce, which is going to be needed with all the other ingredients. And last but not least, my secret ingredient and so much, some fish sauce. Okay, so we're going to just get this all mixed up. Now with the peanut butter, you could throw it in the microwave for about 10 seconds to soften it, or just whisk well. It'll still break up in there. And if you have a few little pieces that haven't broken up, that is fine. It's just going to sit here and it's going to break down a little bit more. That looks really pretty good to me. So I'm going to call that done. I'm going to leave this in here because I'm going to whisk it later. And now we're going to get to the wok and get this party started. I have my wok heating up now. I love to cook in the wok. You could do this in a skillet, frying pan. Don't worry if you don't have a wok. So you can see it's starting to smoke. It's hot where I want it to be. So I'm going to add some sunflower oil. And I'm going in with the chicken. And you hear that nice sizzle. So I'm going to spread out the chicken so it's in a more of a single layer. And I'm just going to leave it and let it start browning. So it's really important for these because we're going to use very small little lettuce boats that you get the chicken sliced very, very thinly, little pieces of chicken. So I start off with chicken tenders and I cut them I cut strips and then I chop them very, very finely. And then I also added a little bit of kosher salt and pepper to the chicken before it went into the wok. So the goal here is to, as soon as you start to see the opaqueness of the chicken around the sides come up the sides of the chicken, then we're going to get in here and mix it up a bit. I'm going to give the chicken a mix. I'm starting to see some doneness. Oh, and we got some great color too. Okay, now we're just going to let this sit and cook. I'm going to give it just a smidgen more oil to help it along. Okay, as it gets to the almost finished stage, we still see some raw pieces in there. I'm going to start stirring a little bit more. We already have good color on the one side of the chicken, so now I'm just wanting the chicken to finish cooking. I don't want to overcook it. That will not make for good lettuce wraps. I'm going to call this done. This is going to go back into the pan at some point, so I'm going to leave it a little bit less cooked. Okay. Put that aside. I'm going to add a little bit more oil. Getting ready to cook some of the aromatics here. So I have shiitake mushrooms, yellow onion, everybody in the pan, and water chestnuts. Okay, I'm going to mix this up a little bit. I feel like I need a little bit more oil, so I'm going to get that in there as well. As you're cooking, if it's something, if I say you need 2 tablespoons of oil in the recipe and you get to a stage where it looks like you need more, put more in. The recipe is a guide, not etched in stone. So for these pieces, they need to be very, very fine, just like the chicken needed to be very small, because again, we have a small lettuce boat we don't want big pieces. So all of these ingredients, the onions, the mushrooms, and the water chestnuts were chopped very finely. Okay, I don't want these ingredients to really brown, so that's why I'm mixing them as they cook. They're just about done. I'm going to push them up on the side of the wok, get all this out. I love this shovel, but things stick to it a lot, I will say that. Now I'm going to get some sesame oil. Just pouring a little in the bottom there. And in goes the garlic and the ginger, finely chopped as well. So you just want to cook this up till fragrant. When you really start smelling it, which is not going to take long at all. Okay, I think we're good. We're going to mix it all together. Get it nicely distributed. Okay. Chicken back in the pan. I'm going to mix all this together. This is going to be so delicious. Okay. Again, with the... Ooh, that's hot. Okay. It's sauce time. Don't do that. Okay, so I'm going to give it a nice whisk again. And I'm going to get it in here. Get all the sauce out of the bowl that I can get. Okay, I think we're good. Mix it together. Okay. Looks like I've got it pretty well distributed. So I'm just going to let this sit and cook together and meld for about 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, this looks really, really good. The sauce has distributed well. It is really adhering to the chicken and the other ingredients quite nicely. This looks amazing. I'm calling this done. Now we're going to go put them in their lettuce boats, garnish, and eat a chicken lettuce wrap. I want to talk a few things about the garnish and also about how easy this recipe is. You saw it doesn't take much time in the wok to cook. Really, the majority of the work in this recipe is in the prep stage, but you can take some shortcuts there. If you don't want to mince your own garlic and ginger, you can buy it pre-minced. That will help as well. You can also buy chopped shiitake mushrooms and then just do a final chop. You can buy chopped onions. You could make it easier, but even then the prep doesn't take far too long. So one of the most exciting things about this recipe are these little guys, and they started off as what's called rice sticks. They're gluten-free, and so I took them, I heated some oil, and the oil's got to be around 400 degrees for this to work. You put them in, and then they just puff up and fry, and they are a great texture component for these lettuce wraps. And the other garnish I have is green onions. I chopped up some dry roasted peanuts, and I discovered, you may not like this, but I do, spicy mayo, just a little bit of it is wonderful on top. And you can check out that video here or go to gfexplorers.com to find the recipe. So let's eat a chicken lettuce wrap. So I've got my chicken mixture. Okay, I'd say that's about all I want in there. Oh boy, what do I do next? I think I'm going to do the spicy mayo. I said a little spicy mayo, but that's actually a lot, so. A few peanuts, and you don't have to use all this garnish. I'm kind of a garnish freak. I love garnish. It just adds some different flavors to it. And then I have my rice sticks. Ooh! Oh, it smells so good. Okay, I'm going in, and I think I'm just all in one. It's small enough, I think I can do it. Or maybe I'll take a bite. I don't know, let's see. Well, I'm taking a bite. Oh my God, what? So much flavor in one bite. I love Asian food. All these flavors, ginger, garlic, a taste of hoisin. The rice sticks give such a wonderful crunch. The peanuts give a nice crunch too, but not like these rice sticks. And of course, the spicy mayo. And oh yeah, the chicken tastes good too. Holy cow, that was good. So I would suggest for serving these, you can see here I have the lettuce boats on a plate. You can do that and then have everybody grab a lettuce boat and serve themselves. You can plate just the chicken part in and then they can garnish. Or you could do it buffet style, leave it on the stove, and whatever works for you. Now, butter lettuce would work. I have tried these with the romaine boats. No, not so good. You may like them, but I felt they just didn't work with this dish. So whatever lettuce you like. Or I think you could even serve this over rice if you wanted to. You do not have to put it in a lettuce boat. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you make this and enjoy it as much as I do. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. That really helps out. And if you really like this video, please think about subscribing to our channel. The link to the recipe will be in the description below, and you can find it at gfexplorers.com, where you can find all the recipes that we do here on our YouTube channel. And until next time, happy eating.